bringing you Thailand's insights. Special, exclusive, in-depth, from the direct source. Let's get inside. Gain the insight with the insider.
Sawasdee krab. Welcome back to a special edition of The Insider. Today we continue from last week where we presented an overall picture of the Eastern Economic Corridor or EEC. Thailand's economic resilience in the past decades has been highlighted with a dynamic eastern seaboard that serves as the country's major industrial production base. Last week we saw how this region is now primed to expand in a comprehensive way, which include growth in the sectors of industry, tourism, transport, and global commerce. This week we'll be looking at the key projects within the EEC and how far they have progressed. With me, the Minister of Industry himself, Mr. u-tapao Sawanayon. Right now we want to upgrade or we want to alleviate Eastern Seaboard to become the Eastern Economic Corridor or EEC. So what is the logic behind that shift?
Right. As you were saying, that Eastern Seaboard was first developed some 30 years ago, and that was when Thailand had our first industrialization. So major industries that have continued to be the engines of growth for the Thai economy today started actually there in the Eastern Seaboard. The three provinces, mainly Chachoengsao, Chonburi, and Rayong.
When you talk about logistics, you talk about connectivity or integrated connection. Would you mind elaborate on the project that would create the integrated connection in this area, not just within Thailand, but also connect Thailand to the other country?
For EEC, our plan is to implement integrated development, taking into account what is already there, the communities, and so on, not just the industries. And of course, the connectivity within EEC itself that we want to upgrade, and also the connectivity between EEC and other parts of Thailand and going out of Thailand. So we're doing this in all major ways, including land, sea, and air. All three. And if I can add that EEC itself has a pretty good infrastructure already, but there is a lot of potential and opportunity to upgrade that infrastructure.
How u-tapao can connect with the Suvarnabhumi airport, because we have Suvarnabhumi airport as the main airport, right? And also we do have Dongmueang airport. How these three airports will be connected?
Okay, taking an integrated view, as we were saying before, in terms of connecting u-tapao to other centers of activities, in particular the two airports, the two main airports of Thailand, Suvarnabhumi and Dongmueang. So you're talking about going out of Bangkok to EEC, to the east, going down like that. Our plan calls for high-speed rail system that would connect the three airports and locations along that. Our goal, for example, is for people to be able to travel from Bangkok, let's say from those two major airports, to u-tapao at the tip of EEC in the east within 1 hour. And you can imagine that, what that could do in terms of developing new cities, along the way, new suburbs, along with industries, in terms of transportation for people and also the logistics for goods and services. Now, that's just the land part, right? But we need to talk about the air transportation as well, if we talk about u-tapao. So u-tapao itself will be upgraded in a major way. For example, in terms of commercial, there'll be new terminals, new runways, so that it can support greater number of passengers, tourists, and so on, business people. But we would also build u-tapao up as a leading center for the MRO activity. MRO is maintenance, repair, and overhaul for aircrafts. So that's very important. Thailand has a potential to be a leading leading MRO center in the region, and u-tapao is a place where we will develop that. And also, the part and component industry, serve the aircraft industry, will also be developed alongside the MRO. So u-tapao eventually, in our plan, will become center point of a new city. We can call it the new Eastern airport city around u-tapao. And of course, the connectivity between u-tapao, through air travel to different parts of Thailand and to different destinations in the region throughout the world, I think are not difficult to expand.
Your Excellency, apart from the high-speed train for passenger, what about cargo?
Yes.
Are we going to have the upgrade the rail mode or rail system?
There will be the double rail system, new rail system that would connect destinations within EEC, obviously u-tapao included, to the other parts of Thailand, as we are also undertaking major projects, rail projects throughout Thailand. So definitely we will connect u-tapao with those rail projects, specifically to serve the logistics for goods and services coming in and out of u-tapao.
To my understanding, we have a special economic zone in other areas in the countries as well. So we have manufacturing in other areas. So we need to shift or to move all those goods or product to EEC. So we need the dual or double track system, and shift or move that cargo or that product to the port. What about the seaport?
Right, that's the third mode of transportation that we would integrate, into the overall infrastructure, transportation infrastructure of EEC, connecting to other parts of Thailand and outside of Thailand as well. We have two major seaports in EEC. One is Lam Chabang, the other in Chonburi. The other one is Maptaput in Rayong. Now, both have been major ports serving industries in the EEC or the Eastern Seaboard, as we know it, have known it for the past 30 years. So the plan calls for, again, the expansion, major expansion and growth of those two seaports. For example, for Lam Chabang, it mainly serves for example, the automotive industries. So we want to expand the capacity that it could serve those industries. For Maptaput is close to the petrochemical complex that is there. So the capacity will also be increased, and the linkages will be extended.
So from listening to you, Your Excellency, right now I can see that this government is very serious about making the Eastern Economic Corridor become a pivotal point for Thailand, for the foreign investor to come to this area. Apart from facility, what else that would attract the foreign investor?
Right. Apart from the facilities, the infrastructure, right, we would have, of course, the industries, which are target industries that the government aims to develop further. The automotive industry, we want to move up to the next generation of automobiles, mainly the EV, the electrical automobile vehicles, those types of things. For the petrochemical industry, we would develop it in the direction of bioeconomy industry.
Biofuel.
Or even towards food for the future. Thailand has a diverse base for agricultural products that are very suitable for bioeconomy activities.
We have food processing as the S curve. So we're going to have the food for the future as well.
That's right.
What else apart from this?
We are developing new industries. For example, robotic is something that Thailand has a base for developing that. And robotic naturally is connected or related to other industries, automotive industry itself, electronic, and so on. So that would also be an integral part of EEC, as well as hospitality and wellness industry, where it lends itself very well to tourism, which is, as we know, a very key industry for Thailand and for EEC in particular.
So we have tourism as the, I can say that it's a signature industry for Thailand, and of course it's earned a lot of income for the country. But right now we want to alleviate tourism to become wellness tourism. And other than that,
now we have touched on the infrastructure within EEC, the industries, target industries. The third very important component is urbanization, meaning building, expanding new cities within the EEC area. We have 3 provinces right, within the EEC.
Rayong, Changseo, Chonburi.
Right. At this phase. Now, doesn't mean that we will not keep EEC only for these
Can we
3
expand
provinces.
that?
We can expand that, but you need to start somewhere. So you need to define an area. So these 3 provinces. But what we would do is that we'll build new cities, that are totally integral with other activities that we have. So new cities will come up in Changseo, in Chonburi, in Rayong. So new cities meaning cities that would be an environment for high quality living.
Schools,
international education, hospital, wellness, hence, and also places where people can live and work. You can imagine if we connect, as we were saying before, with the high-speed rail from Bangkok to EEC, then you could have modern suburbs, modern cities where people can live, and if people can still want to work in Bangkok, they can do that. It will take an hour to commute one way, right? So you can actually in the morning go in and out, and at the same time, what it would do is that it would kind of spread activities outside from Bangkok to EEC, and then further on to other areas as well. So you can see that by developing new cities, we not only will serve the growth of EEC itself, but the overall development of Thailand in a direction where it would be friendly, it would fit in with the new lifestyle of people that we are experiencing today.
Well, we talk about many projects, but of course the transportation system is very important. Connectivity is very important. When is the transportation system or connection or connectivity is expected to be ready to use?
Well, let me put it this way. We have different components of the EEC plan that we need to carry out in phases and so on, because overall it involves major investments and time and effort. So we have at this stage sort of a 5-year target for what we want to accomplish, and then for 2 years, 3 years, and so on within that period. Within 5 years, we are at this stage looking at total of about 15 major projects divided into roughly four groups of or categories of projects. First, infrastructure. Second, industries. Third, urbanization, right? And then fourth, tourism. So 15 projects. They are they fit into these four categories. But to start, we have narrowed down to about 4 or 5 key projects that we need to put in place first. And top of the list is the infrastructure that you just mentioned. So take, for example, the high-speed and the dual-track rail systems. We would like to be able to start on the processes, the necessary processes that would lead to the construction of these rails this year, and hopefully we can see the beginning of the construction next year. So it will take a few years for the infrastructures, the rail infrastructures, to be in place.
EEC seems to be very attractive. And what would happen if the foreign investor influx into the area? One problem that I can foresee is the environmental problem. Do you have any plan to look after this problem, to tackle this problem?
Right, definitely. And the issue of environment is very much integral, and in fact, it's at the center of the EEC development plan overall. So environment, we need to make sure that as we move forward with the development, the growth of the industries, and also with the expansion, the creation of new cities, and so on, environment is paramount. We need to ensure the environment would be friendly for the people living in the EEC, and always we take into consideration what is already there, the communities that are already there. So it's not the case where we're going to have an influx of new people, new industry activities, coming in EEC without considering the communities, the environment that is already there. Now, tourism is already there, for example, and people enjoy that. So we want to make sure that the new environment that will be created definitely friendly, and in fact will enhance what is already there. Take into account their ways of life. The Prime Minister has stressed on this countless times, that whatever project we do in the EEC, the very first question that we need to answer is that what benefits will be shared by all who live and work in the EEC. People who are already there first, and then people who will be coming in together. So environment is very important and integral to everything that we do, every project that we do in the EEC.
Well, one thing that I believe it is very important to the success of all the government policy, that is the integration. What about the interagency work?
Right. Since we have quite a few projects that range from infrastructure to industry development, urbanization, tourism, so on. We need different agencies, a great number of agencies on the public side, the government side, to work together, to collaborate and lead these projects. But that's not enough in its own. We need to collaborate with the private sector, and we have been doing this from the very beginning of the EEC development plan, because we need to listen to them, what they would need, what they would like to see in terms of growing EEC together. And then we need various government agencies to work together, all integrating our efforts so that we have a concerted effort moving forward together in all these projects. So again, coming back to PPP, it's actually already PPP in practice.
Yes.
Right, in making the preparations, in starting from planning of these projects. It's not just the government that created these plans. We co-created the plans with the private sector. And also the educational sector is also very important. Cannot neglect that. So it's all three parties together creating the plans and will be implementing the plan.
I'm sure that you would have you already have a committee to oversee this.
That's correct. That's correct. As I mentioned earlier, there is an office that has been created, EEC office. There is a Secretary General appointed by the Prime Minister to run the activities.
What is your role?
My role is, as you were just saying, there have been committees, actually two committees, that would oversee the implementation of the activities within EEC. The big committee, we call it the EEC Policy Committee, chaired by the Prime Minister. And it consists of key representatives from different agencies, government agencies, also representatives from the private sectors, the educational sector and so on. So it oversees the policy implementation, making sure that projects that will happen in the EEC are consistent with the overall policy. Then there is the management, the EEC Management Committee, which is chaired by myself as Minister of Industry. Now, so we sort of oversee the activities that will take place, report to the big committee, and if we encounter issues, challenges that need to be resolved at the policy level, we can do that directly. And then the EEC office will serve both committees as a secretariat. That is how we are moving forward, EEC, and we have been doing that, I would say, at a relatively fast pace.
I'm sure that we already have the system in place in order to move forward and of course lead to the success of the EEC. And under your responsibility, with your determination, I'm sure that EEC would help to fulfill the government vision, security, stability and prosperity. Well, thank you very much for sharing the information with us, the Insider, this week. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, my pleasure.
The development of the EEC is a testament of the Thai government's determination to prepare Thailand for the economic demands for the 21st century and to set the country on a firm and sustainable path to growth and prosperity that leaves no one behind. Taking a look at the bigger picture, the EEC represents a collection of the main national goals that Thailand is looking forward to achieve, such as Thailand 4.0, comprehensive reforms, and the national strategy. There can be no denying that Thailand is situated in one of the best strategic locations for global investment and trade. But to make the best use of this means to set the country on the path of economic growth that is not lackluster, but stable, resilient, and responsible. This is an important project for Thailand, and as we have heard from Minister u-tapao today, the work to translate this vision into reality is already underway. Thank you for watching The Insider, and please stay tuned for the next episode. สวัสดีครับ